I was building my new workstation, my X58 workstation, and I needed something beefy to cool it, as I was going to get some CPU like the X56 75, and that one was a 75 watt CPU, so it's not much as I remember, I'm not sure. But I still wanted a decent cooler. I wasn't sure. I bought a board with an i7-920 on it. I didn't buy that CPU, that Xeon yet. So I needed a cooler. I got a Raiintek Tisis for about 35 bucks. Yet the actual retail price for it was much higher. It came with some missing accessories, some missing screws, and I also got some better ones. Some different ones. Not better ones, but different. Works. And I wanted to see how big of a difference could a large 140 mil, cooler and some Chinese 10 bucks one. So I have applied the thermal paste in a way that it is scattered on all of the IHS equally. So I'm not gonna put one drop and put it, and hopefully it will go on the wanted area on the IHS. I wanted a reducible result, and that one will surely give me that option. So after doing the tests and seeing so after playing 3 games, testing it, Warframe didn't get the full CPU utilization that I wanted, but other games did, like Black Ops 4. I played Black Ops 4 the Zombie, and yeah, it had some CPU utilization, some heavy CPU utilization, but I'm still not really, convinced. I played Rainbow Six Siege and also got the same thing as Black Ops 4. Not really convinced. So I'm gonna overclock the CPU, as I'm using at 2.8 gigahertz. That's the stock, but I believe it's still pretty damn low. And if the CPU is only going to about mid 40s at most, I'm just gonna have to overclock it and see how much it goes further. I won't stop unless it gets up to like 60-70. That should be enough. So now I have overclocked the CPU to about 3.7-3.8 gigahertz, I suppose so. Let's see, I got about 90 additional Cinebench points, Cinebench R15, and let's see how the temperature goes for gaming and whatnot for now. So even after overclocking the CPU to 3.8 or 3.7 gigahertz, I couldn't get past the about 55 C mark. I'm gonna go and complete my testings tomorrow. I'm gonna try to get up to 4 gigahertz or something like that. I hope I don't push the VRMs too much. I'll also try tomorrow to test the CPU using the other cooler. This is smaller. Day 2. So, I've overclocked the CPU to about 3.9 gigahertz. I couldn't get much more than that. I was getting 3.7 at first, but I gotta be clean. I'm not a good overclocker, to be honest. I mean, I've got it from 2.67 to, or 2.7, you know, to about 3.8, so about a gigahertz or so. You know, it's decent. And when I said I've got an additional 70 points, I was wrong. The original score was actually 419, as you can see, i7 920. And then after going up to 3.7 gigahertz, I was getting 570. And when I got to 3.8, I got 577. Retesting now has no point in it. 100 megahertz additional won't really, you know, do much of a difference. What, 5 to 10%? That's like 2 to 5 Celsius. Nothing much will happen. So let's go to the other cooler. This is the $10 cooler that I got from eBay. It's a Chinese one. This is an H81M motherboard, H81M P+, and I'm using an i5 4460 with it. It's an 85 watt actually, an 85 watt CPU. It's pretty damn enough for like cooling and whatnot. This is the CPU that I'm currently using for editing and whatnot. I don't need much of a powerful CPU. I haven't upgraded to the X58 motherboard yet. So I'm gonna be removing the cooler from here and putting it in this system. I hope I don't mess up anything. So even though the cooler is supposed to be supported by 1366, but it just won't fit. The bracelet just won't fit in the CPU holder, and I might need to use the installation kit of the bigger cooler on the smaller cooler. A bit of a pain in the ass, but it should work. Started the system, and let's see. Yeah, it's much quieter. It's quieter actually. I think I might get one for myself if I needed a more silent PC. And the blue screen. Fuck. And we're on the desktop. Would it crash? Did it crash? Didn't crash. Cool. I couldn't really, you know, overclock it. It's just not an option. It's got 20 degrees over the average on the bigger cooler or the Raiintek Tisis. This cooler just couldn't handle this i7. It handled the i5 4460 quite well actually, about 45 degrees or so on load, but I think that's because the i5 is itself a smaller CPU. The die and the IHS, all of it is just smaller, so the cooler can handle more area. This configuration, I wouldn't use it, to be honest. I just wouldn't. Just get a decent cooler if you are going with the high end. If you are going with a low end, CPU and a locked CPU, or a low powered one, even if it's overclockable like the i3 8350K, I believe. They're quieter, that I tell you that, but other than that, I don't know. It's just a fail. But for the price, this is small cooler here is just much better in the value. You won't be hitting big temperatures, but it's still pretty damn good, I'd say that. So like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you dislike it, subscribe if you want. Tell me in the comments, how did you see this journey? Oof, day 2 was a bit painful. And signing out.